Hello, welcome to My Secret Obsession. I'm Cherish Lively, and today we are talking with Sass Green. I have read the first chapter in her Dark Prince book, and it is a rock star romance. Hello, Sass. How are you doing?
I'm doing great. Thank you so much for having me on the show, Cherish.
Oh, I'm so glad you're here. Can you tell us a little bit about what motivated you to write this book? I loved it that it had kind of like this age gap, and then it was
Right,
like
right.
grumpy sunshine romance. So, if you could tell us a little bit about what motivated you to write this, and what how you really feel, and the emotions you put into this book.
Sure. I'm glad you used the word emotions because I think that is what's missing in so many books today. They don't have a soul. So I wanted to add a lot of emotions. And you're right, it is an age gap romance. Now, this book came after I used to write about billionaires. I still do.
Okay.
But
Hmm.
it started with Rich and Sexy, the first book in my 5-book billionaire series. And I love billionaires. I mean, I'm sure you do too. Who doesn't?
Yeah.
But the the rock star, the elusive rock star really attracted me. And I wanted to take a little change, a little detour. So I thought, okay, who is my rock star? And of course he had to be dark and handsome. And he is called the Dark Prince. He is very deep and mysterious. Long dark hair. He's also 40, which for a man is, I would say, the crossroads where you really have to make some decisions about how you want to spend your life. So the bottom line is that he wanted to do his own music and not be a slave to his record label. And that's one drama in his life. Then, as the tabloids will do, they were accusing him of all kinds of crazy things, devil worship, crazy orgies. Of course, he's innocent of all that, but his record label thought he needed a stabilizing force. In comes Bix. Her name is spelled Bix. He named her. Her real name was Beatrice. So, of course, she was eager for the name change. So
Uh-huh.
anyway, the bottom line is that it's a grumpy sunshine. They clashed at first, and then through a whirlwind weekend in Saint-Tropez, they they conquered all obstacles and fell in love.
Mhm. And I noticed, when I was reading over some of your stuff, she actually has some of her own goals and wishes,
Right.
and do you wanna talk about that some?
Oh, thank you so much for asking. It's something that's really I treasure. I'll have to spell the word because it could be mispronounced. It's called scat music, SKAT, and not nobody really knows about it because it was popular 100 years ago. Yes,
Right,
100 years ago. And it's what the old-time Black singers would, between their lyrics, their vocals, they would make these nonsense sounds that kind of vibrated in the room, and it made everybody feel good. It didn't mean anything, like a Tisket a Tasket, Ella Fitzgerald hit song. That was based on a nursery rhyme. That whole song that's so famous, you might even hear it in your mind. A
right,
Tisket a Tasket is based on a nursery rhyme, but she sang it with this SKAT that uplifted the room. So
right,
this girl is just 20 years old. Her grandmother used to tour with Ella Fitzgerald, and she gave her all the moves, the old time moves, and it is a very classic style of singing, so she wants to bring that back into vogue. So the bottom line is that her twin, unfortunately, always look at the traffic lights. Her twin was killed the year before. She's alone with her dream. Her grandmother also has passed. So she feels it's up to her to bring this music back.
right. So that's awesome, and then it's kinda, I assume this book is, of course, gonna have a happily ever after?
Yes, it is, happily ever after. There's all kinds of miscommunication along the way.
Mm,
They spend the weekend in Saint-Tropez with his record label owner and
mhm,
assorted people.
right,
They do fall in love during that weekend, but there's a misunderstanding that breaks them apart. She's ready to leave the this area and go back to the United States, and then he's having a meltdown for this specific reason. She goes to comfort him, and he serenades her at the end, and it's a beautiful happy ending. And I've here's the thing, I've been to all the places I wrote about. I'm also a travel writer, so one of
Okay.
the fun parts of writing the books is being able to relive where I've been. And this
Mhm.
last scene takes place in Nîmes, which is an amphitheater that's 2,000 years old and still in use as a concert venue, if you could believe it.
Mhm. Very cool. Well, that sounds like a wonderful book, and
Yeah.
I'm excited to see more of it, and I know you said it just recently released.
Yeah, it's 3 weeks
Yeah.
old, and, these days, 3 weeks is kind of you have another week to finish it, and then another book is coming out, so
Right.
my other book won't be out for another month, but still, I'm celebrating this while it's still in its 1st month.
Yes, exciting, exciting.
Yeah,
So you had mentioned you have billionaire books and
right.
the rock star books. Is there anything else you want to make listeners aware of so that they can come find you and enjoy more of
Sure.
your
Well,
book?
everything is on the Sass Green website, green like the color, sass like somebody's sassy. And I'm working on right now a dictation book. It's going to be coming out probably another month also. And the secret to my success, and I have to say, it really is a secret. People know dictation, but not the power of dictation.
Mhm.
So, when you dictate your book, it comes alive before your eyes. And I usually dictate walking down the street in New York. I'm not in a corner, with my little microphone whispering. I am vibrantly living my scenes. And sometimes they're intimate scenes. I'm not shy about that. The doormen who are outside the Plaza Hotel, which I walk by every day, all know me by now. They probably know parts of my story too.
Right. Very cool. Very cool. So when you talk about the dictation and the writing of the book,
Right.
when you dictate it, do you have like an app that then writes it out so that then you go and edit it, or do you like how do you
That
get
is
it?
I'm glad that you asked that question. It is a secret. I tell people about it, but, people wanna listen or they don't wanna listen. I have what's called a Google Pixel phone, and
Okay.
I like everybody, like, maybe even you, everybody in your audience, not everybody, but, we've all heard of that Dragon software, right? And then you have to spend a half day setting it up, and you have to buy the microphone, and you have to sit there and train. There's books called Training the Dragon. Okay, with the Google Pixel, you turn it on, you speak, you see the words come right before you, and then guess what? You press a button, it goes to your email, and by the time I dictate in Central Park, by the time I get home, it's already there waiting for me. Now you ask, do I what edit? Here is a beautiful thing. It edits itself. It self-corrects all of the spelling. There's,
Uh-huh.
of course, being a conscientious writer, I do edit it, significantly, but if
Mhm.
you didn't need to, you could just publish it like that.
Wow, that is so cool. That's great
It
to know.
is. It's a
I would
breakthrough, but the
Yeah.
phone in my book, I talk about other methods because the phone is you can get it secondhand, but it's a few, more than a few $100s. I don't know, maybe last time I checked, I think you could buy a used one for 300, but it's no muss, no fuss. You don't need to buy a microphone. It's all set.
Awesome. Well, that sounds great. And, maybe we can have you on for that to talk
Yeah,
a
that'd
little
be great.
about that also in the future. Well, I just want to thank you for coming on, Sass, and I will make sure that I publish or promote this on my podcast, and the listeners can hear it and find it on YouTube and TikTok, and I'll have your links posted also so people can find you. Thank you so much for coming on. Have a great day.